Our Tiani Jadalang tells us why organizers say the show must go on.
And a massive firework disaster in Yolo County leaves 7 people unaccounted for. We have details on the ongoing rescue efforts ahead.
And seasonal conditions as we round out the work week. Well, more on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 5 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. We start tonight at the Banning Justice Center, where former Palm Springs Mayor Steve Pugnier was sentenced today after pleading guilty in May to 21 felony charges.
Our Brett Rosen has the details.
Former Palm Springs Mayor Steve Pugnier was sentenced here at the Banning Justice Center, putting an end to an investigation that's lasted a decade.
It took one trigger event to cause him to abandon that. And that was when his husband was transferred to Denver, as I indicated.
Mr. Siegel, stop there. It's called greed. It's called greed.
Today, former Palm Springs Mayor Steve Pugnier was sentenced to 2 years probation and will have to pay a restitution cost of $325,000 to the city of Palm Springs for taking bribes in exchange for outspoken support for development projects in the downtown area. Pugnier outspokenly had said he was innocent of all 21 felony charges he was facing.
Finally, I will have my day in court to clear my name of the alleged accusations, and I'm looking forward to that.
2 weeks later, he pled guilty to 9 counts of bribery by a public official, 8 counts of illicit financial interest in public contracts, 1 count of conspiracy, and pleaded no contest to 3 counts of perjury. Today in court, Pugnier is saying the decisions he's made have been haunting him for years and will continue to do so.
And that decision absolutely will haunt me. It's been haunting me for 10 years, and it will. There's no excuse for it.
During the sentencing, a couple business owners and former city council members who served with Pugnier spoke on behalf of him.
City of Palm Springs, what has made our city what it is today.
One former council member that spoke, Jeannie Fote, who served on the city's council for 14 years, says Steve Pugnier has already paid his debt.
There was so much good that he did, both before and after. I mean, he's led an exemplary life. And, so I feel very strongly that, he's paid his debt to society.
Prosecutors say they're disappointed with the trial's outcome. However, the judicial process now turns to developer Richard Meany, who pled guilty to bribery charges in 2023. He's set for sentencing later this month, nearing the end of a decade-long investigation. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen.
California Highway Patrol announcing the line-of-duty death of Officer Miguel Cano in Culver City today. Officials saying Cano suffered a suspected medical emergency, causing his vehicle to crash into a tree early this morning. Despite immediate life-saving measures, he was pronounced dead on scene. Officer Cano is remembered for his courage and his dedication. He's survived by his wife and parents.
Several people are unaccounted for tonight after multiple explosions destroyed that fireworks facility there. This was in Yolo County, Northern California yesterday. It all began with a structure fire at a warehouse. It was storing fireworks. You could see that massive explosion that ensued. The flames caused the fireworks to ignite, leading to several explosions, engulfing at least 2 homes and several vehicles on that property. CAL FIRE says that 7 people remain unaccounted for, and that first responders are working with the property owner to help find them. Crews are also using drones right now to assess any remaining hazards since the explosions. The cause of the fire remains unknown.
A petition in Big Bear aims to stop a fireworks show that could potentially impact Sister Eaglets, Sunny and Gizmo. Well, tonight, city leaders are weighing in just 2 days ahead of this event as thousands are pushing back. Our Tiani Jadalang joins us live in studio. She spoke with both groups involved and has the latest reaction for us. Tiani?
Olivia, the petition started a little under a week ago and already has about 37,000 signatures. But even with that amount, the head of the city's tourism board tells me a decision has been made and it's necessary to keep the city and businesses afloat. For more than 50 years, the city of Big Bear has hosted a 4th of July fireworks celebration. It wasn't until just 2 years ago when the city started to receive pushback about potential damage. That's when the Friends of Big Bear Valley presented to the city's board expressing their concerns.
They have
done a drone show or two since then, but I don't understand, but they won't move off of the July 4th. It's almost like they think that Big Bear won't survive unless we do fireworks.
Just 5 days ago, an online petition was made to stop the fireworks show. More than 37,000 individuals have since signed, with the goal of what the petition reads, to save Gizmo and Sunny, the two eagles that hatched in March of this year. But Sandy Steers with the Friends of Big Bear Valley tells me it's more than just the eagles.
They're putting them out into the air where nobody has a choice. You have to breathe it in if you're in the valley. They're putting it out into the water. Fish die, ducks scatter. Some of them have babies and they get injured as well. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Travis Scott, the CEO of Visit Big Bear, tells us despite the thousands of signatures signed, the fireworks show will still go on. They say they go through an extensive process with experts to ensure no wildlife is harmed.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services has made it clear that they don't believe there will be any harm or has been any harm caused in the past.
Scott says the board of directors understands what's going on and will move forward, taking into consideration that this is one of the largest holidays for the city and generates millions of dollars. Leaders saying if they didn't host the show, the city and their businesses could face major financial trouble.
We just want to honestly and sincerely send our appreciation to all of those who love and follow Jackie and Shadow and Sunny and Gizmo. They have become wonderful spokesbirds for stewardship for bald eagles, and we appreciate their concern. We hear them. However, our community has chosen to move forward.
The fireworks show will take place at around 8:45 p.m. on Friday in Big Bear. Advocates like Steers say they'll continue to bring awareness. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadling, NBC Palm Springs.
Tiani, thank you. We have an update tonight on the Wolf Fire. Firefighters now have a high-tech tool in the Banning Pass that's speeding up wildfire response. It's called a helihydrant. It's a stationary tank that helicopters can refill from in just seconds. The first of 7 systems was installed last month in Cabazon. Instead of searching for lakes or landing to refill, pilots can now get back in the air faster to fight the flames. So far, the Wolf Fire has burned about 2,400 acres. It's 40% contained tonight. Evacuation orders and warnings are still in place. CAL FIRE says there's still nearly 15,000 people under those evacuation orders, and it's threatening 4,200 structures.
Cathedral City Fire and EMS just launched a 4th fully staffed ambulance. That's thanks to funding from Measure W. The new unit is expected to reduce response times and boost emergency coverage across the city. Fire Chief Michael Contreras calling it a promise kept to the community, backed by new hires, promotions, and strategic investments. From Tropical Storm Hillary rescues to state accreditation, the department says it's just getting started on raising the bar for public safety. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage, nearby where the fireworks show will be on Friday, where some of the NBC Palm Springs team will be and where we will bring you that live coverage starting at 9 o'clock. But as we check in with our Chloe Carlson, looks a little breezy out there today. And I know it wasn't the hottest day we'll see, but it still felt warm out there.
My goodness, yes, I took a phone call outside today for a few minutes and I was like, okay, I said cooler conditions. This is not feeling cooler out there. So we are seasonal, but for us here in the desert, yeah, that's still 109. It's still very hot here. So I guess keep that in mind. But good news is we're on the 1 teens today, so I'll take it. Mark was mentioning that Wolf Fire. So just want to give you an update on those conditions near Banning. 87 degrees. Again, that Wolf Fire just south of Banning there. Winds 13 miles per hour from the west. So as Olivia mentioned, looking at that live cam right now, a little bit gusty near the pass there. That's something that we're not wind advisory level winds, but moments in the afternoon, evenings, it kind of picks up for that area. 108 right now in downtown Palm Springs at the airport. Winds also breezy at this hour. Here's a look at those wind gusts across the region. Onshore flow, we have that low pressure system kind of moving through Southern California today. By tomorrow, it will be to the east of us. So yes, we did get some more clouds out in our sky save, which was very nice. I love a little bit of that cloud cover. Could use some more of it with those temperatures. Wind gusts 27 mile per hour for Palm Springs, teens for most of the wind corridor there. So as far as future wind wind potential. Yeah, not a huge concern. At moments it'll get gusty in the evenings. For Desert Hot Springs, Sangonio Pass will be breezy here on the desert floor. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 3-day forecast. So seasonal through the rest of the week and into the holiday. Another warm up on the way, taking us to 1 teens for most of next week. Unfortunately, we'll break down where you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Chloe. The union representing more than 45,000 Ralphs, Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions workers in Southern California has reached a tentative contract agreement with the grocers. The workers previously authorized a strike if no deal was made. While details were not fully disclosed, the agreement included higher wages, increased pension contributions, and improvements in health, welfare, and staffing.
The grand opening of the Desert Community Animal Center in Desert Hot Springs is next week. It's set for July 9th. This will be run by the Greater Palm Springs Animal Allies, which also operates the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. You can RSVP for the grand opening at desertvet.org. This low-cost vet clinic will be the only veterinary services in Desert Hot Springs and one of the few low-cost vet clinics that's available here in the Coachella Valley. Coming up next tonight on NBC Palm Springs, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students enters a plea deal today. We'll have the latest details coming up right after the break.
Plus, questions arise after Lackland is declared a new military defense zone for migrant detention. Those details ahead when we come back. Some news across the country this evening. The House of Representatives is working on President Donald Trump's sweeping budget bill after the Senate narrowly passed it yesterday.
The lower chamber could hold a procedural vote tonight. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying he wants a final vote by tomorrow at the latest so that President Donald Trump can sign the bill by Independence Day. Most Republicans highlight its tax breaks like extending 2017 cuts, upping the child tax credit, raising some standard deductions, and temporarily easing taxes on tips and overtime. Fiscal conservatives, however, worry it could add trillions to the deficit. Republicans need all but 3 House votes to pass this bill.
The Trump administration has announced that Joint Base Lackland in San Antonio will be used again to house migrants as part of a national defense area in South Texas. It's unclear how many migrants can be housed at Lackland or how long they'll be staying, but it is meant to be temporary. This won't be the first time. In 2014, Lackland was used to house migrants going through the deportation process. The plan will help the Trump administration's new goal of detaining 3,000 migrants per day. The National Defense Area covers about 250 miles along the Rio Grande in Cameron and Hidalgo counties. The Air Force will manage the area as part of Joint Base San Antonio. Experts say using the military for support roles is completely legal as long as active service members are not making the initial arrest.
30-year-old Brian Kohberger pleads guilty today to killing 4 University of Idaho students at their off-campus house in 2022. This plea deal removes the possibility of the death penalty during his sentencing, and it comes a month before his murder trial was set to begin. Kohberger will be sentenced to life in prison for each of the 4 counts of murder. There were still a number of unanswered questions tonight, such as how and why the victims were targeted and why other roommates at the home were spared. Those answers could emerge during the sentencing hearing, which is yet to come.
Edward Kelly, a January 6 defendant, has been sentenced to life in prison that happened today for plotting to murder an FBI special agent who investigated Kelly's 2021 actions at the Capitol. Kelly was convicted in November 2023 of conspiracy to kill employees of the United States, solicitation to commit a crime of violence, and for influencing or retaliating against federal officials by threat. This past January, you may recall, President Trump pardoned Kelly and about 1,500 other January 6 defendants, but the Justice Department and a federal judge said that the president's mass pardon did not apply to Kelly's separate murder plot. Federal prosecutors pushed for life in prison for Kelly, saying he is remorseless and showed no desire to rehabilitate.
Let's give you a live look outside our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. A few clouds out there today, still some hot temperatures. Chloe Carlson tracking the next 7 days right after the break, so stay with us.
All right, just a few more days. If you want the drive-in style experience, Agua Caliente Casino and Spa in Rancho Mirage holding its 11th annual 4th of July celebration. The free fireworks spectacular gets underway at 9 p.m. Gates open at 3 p.m. though. There are 700 spaces available. If you can't make it in person to the event, we've got you covered. We're going to be broadcasting the fireworks show live on our sister station, that's KPSC. Usually Channel 20, but check your local listings if you're not, I believe, with Spectrum. Our evening crew is going to be out there live covering the festivities, so come say hi. Tune in on KPSC at 9 p.m. Friday, or you can watch the re-air, which we're going to have right here on NBC Palm Springs Friday night at 11 o'clock.
Forward to that. Always a good show there, and they're always playing games there at the beginning, which is fun. A little bit of that cornhole, and I was checking the winds.
Yeah.
All breezy. So
well, that's always the problem
gusty.
because some years they even worry if they have to cancel the shows if it gets too windy. So hopefully, fingers crossed, just a little breezy this year, and that the temperature I mean, it's 9 o'clock, right? So the sun will be down. That's the good news.
Sun will be down. Is it going to be hot? Of course. Yeah, it's midsummer here in the desert, but the sun will be down, so it will be nice. And like I said, strong breezes. More on that forecast for the holiday in just a second. Here's a live look at the Walter Clark Home 11 cam in Rancho Mirage. From this angle, clear blue skies. But like I said earlier, a little bit of those cumulus clouds out today, which no complaints. I like getting to see those because it's rare here in the desert. We got to mix it up a little bit. Back to the holiday this Friday. Again, the Agua Caliente Casino fireworks show, as Mark mentioned, at 9 o'clock. It's going to be 96 degrees. And as far as those clouds, yeah, they'll be out of the region by then. So we got clear skies, which is perfect when we're talking about our fireworks show. Breezy conditions, I will say, maybe at moments around this showtime, maybe some strong breezes, but the strongest gusts will be in the mid-20s. So like I said, no wind advisory level winds as far as that show goes. Humidity about 25% there. As far as the rest of the evening for the holiday, it's going to be 107 at 6 o'clock. So if you're thinking about maybe grilling out before then, just keep that in mind. We still will be in the triple digits if you're partying, and until Saturday morning, it'll be mid-80s through the early morning hours there. As far as the high today, we were 108, so right around seasonal for this time of year. We'll keep that trend at least through the rest of the work week. At this hour, 105 on the other side of the 10 there in Thousand Palms, 91 up in Yucca Valley. Overnight tonight will be in the mid-70s here, so slightly cooler for those overnights. We've been in the low 80s, so we'll take that. 70s up in the high desert. As far as surface moisture here, pretty dry. We jump a little bit Thursday and Friday. As the system continues to exit the region, we'll start to dry out as we get into next week. So Friday, like I said, for the holiday, seasonal conditions. This is on the way for next week. I mean, it's the summer, so we expect it. We're tracking this ridge of high pressure building over Southern California. And just to prepare you, we're probably going to be 1 teens all next week. So enjoy those seasonal conditions while they last, because they're not lasting much longer. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Like I said, we'll be seasonal through the first half of the weekend. We're looking at 111 by Sunday.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. It's free agency frenzy across the hockey world. Some players coming and some going out of the Valley. Now, according to multiple sources, defenseman Gustav Olofsson coming back to the Coachella Valley. The 6'3" Swede spent last 3 seasons with the Firebirds, scoring 5 goals with 30 assists in that span. Certainly the veteran presence in the locker room will be a big advantage for the Firebirds this season. Made his NHL debut last season with the Kraken as well. And we know forward Brandon Biro, he's leaving the Valley after just 1 year to go play in the KHL in Russia. The Palm Desert All-Star team clinched the district title for the second consecutive year last weekend. The 12U group will automatically advance to the regionals being held in Menifee next weekend. This is the first team to ever get this far into the tournament at that age level here in the Coachella Valley. We're actually going to sit down and meet the team and coach early next week. So we'll, of course, have more on that here on NBC Palm Springs. And the 4th of July celebration will continue Friday night across the valley at Palm Springs Stadium. The Power will host the PSCL All-Stars at 6 p.m. with a fireworks show immediately following the final out. A special ticket offer for Friday night for $16 will get you admission to the game, a hot dog, chips, a soft drink, and a koozie. Fans can watch the fireworks show from the stands, or even better yet, head out to the outfield with a chair or blanket and enjoy the fireworks show presented by the city of Palm Springs. Well, that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
Some entertainment news this evening. We're going to be talking about music as well as streaming. For the latest on that, let's go to David Daniel. He has tonight's Hollywood Minute.
Squid Game has been a gift for Netflix. The streamer says the third and final season of the hit series racked up a record 60.1 million views in its first 3 days and debuted #1 in all 93 countries where Netflix has top 10 lists.
Be honest, how much do you know about how our government works?
Author Ben Sheehan mixes constitutional literacy and pop culture in his new series, Civics Made Easy. Part 1 on the Electoral College is already available on PBS.org, the PBS app, and the PBS YouTube channel. New episodes, ranging from filibusters to where our tax dollars go to why politicians keep asking for money, come out every other Thursday this summer and fall. It's been 40 years since Phil Collins' chart-topping album, No Jacket Required. Now the Diamond-certified disc is being reissued in 2 new formats, a 4-LP vinyl box set featuring live and rare material and new liner notes and photos, and a Blu-ray audio disc with a new Dolby surround sound mix and stereo mix. Both are due out September 12th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Before we go, Chuck E. Cheese isn't just where a kid can be a kid anymore. The arcade chain is now unveiling arcades aimed at adults. They're called Chuck's Arcade. It's much more grown up, right? Has nostalgic arcade games like Donkey Kong, Mortal Kombat, and it will mix in some newer titles, including Halo and Connect 4 Hoops. Adults can win prizes too. The chain says each Chuck's Arcade location will have a different feel with original artwork and a full food menu. Yes, the iconic animatronic characters and band are still there. I could do without those, but hey, sounds like fun.
As long as they have the pizza there,
yeah.
I'm there.
Seems very nostalgic. All right, that's going to do it for us. Nightly News is next. We're back in 30 minutes.